Thank you, Sam. In reclaiming our past, we've uncovered a number of vital clues. Don't worry, I just got back. We have time. When you met with Mama, you experienced a strong antigen-antibody reaction, correct?
There was a BT in the room.
There was, but something else may have been causing it. I've discovered large quantities of chiral matter in Mama as well. Not just the usual kind that collects on our skin or on our suits. It's in all her cells. Cells that are no longer active. The BT you encountered there was special. It was her child, but also her own soul. Somehow, her car and half failed to separate. They must have remained connected through the umbilical cord. It's the only explanation.
Is that why I didn't get a bruise where she touched me?
Yes, and there's more.
10 seconds to cardiac arrest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I modified the log times. Headquarters will have no record of what we say. Look, a message from Dead Man. It came with the umbilical cord.
Sam, I'm sorry. You deserve to know what you were carrying. But I couldn't risk Heartman finding out about the case. So I had no choice but to keep it off the books. You've got to keep this between us. We still don't know if the director can be trusted. The umbilical cord was taken from Bridget Strand. I removed it in secret. The cord wasn't attached to a fetus. It was outside her body. She asked me to take care of it. Said it was the key to unlocking the Death Stranding. But she insisted that I never tell the director. The cord shows no sign of decomposition or necrotization. Almost as if it's frozen in time. I thought Heartman might be able to make sense of it. So I had it hidden with your cargo at Mountain Knot City.
Deadman's observations were accurate. It's just like Mama's corpse.
What do you mean?
I mean, they share a very unique property. Both contain large amounts of chiralium in their cells. In other words, the president's cord was somehow connected to the beach, and that allowed it to escape the flow of time. I've put together the bones of a theory. It's patchy, but worth sharing, I think. Life on Earth has been rocked by many extinctions, great and small, including the Big Five. And if you examine the Earth's strata, its history, if you will, you'll find chiralium deposits that can be dated to each. What if the manifestation of beaches and other associated phenomena correspond to extinction-level events?
You mean?
Yes. Our Death Stranding could just be the latest of many. The records and research you helped us to recover strongly suggest that we are in the middle of the 6th extinction.
6th extinction? Come on.
You know what this is, yes?
A frozen mammoth from 10,000 years ago.
Correct. And this?
The Iceman from 5,300 years ago.
They both had the same umbilical cords.
Bullshit.
Humor me. What if the mammoth and the Iceman weren't frozen?
You're saying time stopped for them just like it did for Mama?
Unfortunately, all these specimens were lost in the Death Stranding, so there's no way to examine the genuine articles, but some fragments of data did survive. With the aid of the chiral network, we may be able to piece together something more concrete using Evo-Devo tech. All right, how's this? A dinosaur from 65.5 million years ago. Umbilical cord, not decomposed.
Only mammals have umbilical cords.
No. Only mammals have umbilical cords used for childbirth. This is something else. Call it a strand from the other side. I propose that mammalian umbilici are a sort of mimesis of the strand that then evolved over time. We shouldn't assume that everything about a death stranding is detrimental to life. Trilobites, ammonites, dinosaurs, the mammoth, the iceman, all preserved as if frozen in time, all without exception found with strands, which is to say that all may have been connected to the beach. And this, when viewed in the context of the extinction entity, EE theory, leads me to surmise that organisms with strands are in fact extinction entities. You see, Sam, EEs are connected to the beach via their strands. And it is through this connection that they somehow bring about a death stranding.
So you're saying Bridget was an extinction entity?
It's far too soon to say anything for certain. And since you burned her body, we may never know.
Higgs said Amelie's an EE, that she doesn't have dooms like the rest of us.
Sam, think. Assume that President Strand was an EE. Isn't it possible that her daughter is too? At the very least, Higgs may hope as much now that the president is unavailable.
So he kidnaps her for EE powers or whatever to cause a mass extinction.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. I doubt a single EE is powerful enough to cause a death stranding, assuming Amelie is an EE.
Well, Higgs sure thinks she's got what it takes.
Indeed. And we need to get her back as soon as possible.
1 minute remaining. Please hold on to something secure.
Ah, this one is real. Sam, go west.
How do you want me to handle Die Hardman?
With your customary reserve. Nothing good will come of him learning of our suspicions. Whatever else is going on, we still need the chiral network.
Right.
Activating lab security measures. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Let's see. I wonder. What are you? Timefall shelter. Online generator. Online outpost. Likes. Keep on. Anchor. Online bridge. Let's remove all my markers, because I do want to log out in a safe house. So let's attach you. Of course it's that way. Because it just had to be. Okay, let's jump under this thing and hopefully it'll regen everything. Okay. Because we put BB through a lot. So I think it's a good idea if we let BB rest in a proper place. Also means we can... There's that jingle again. God damn it. Am I meant to be looking for, like, sleigh bells? No, it's not an hourly chime. So I just looked at the clock and we're like 9 minutes past an hour. Get going. Yeah, I think that's it. Good green marker there. We'll grab you as we go.
There we go.
Because I like to keep my travel later slidey thing going for as long as possible. Yeah, we're good. Just okay.
Feel that?
Let's go cargo. Hermetic grenades. Grenade pouch. Grenade launcher. Tool rack. Okay, let's get under here. I need to do crystals. Lost it. Don't give up. Ladder. Generator. It's not on here. It's over there. Ooh. Ooh. Over in that direction. Gotta go this way. Slowly as possible. If we go cargo. Boots. Put on mask. Ah, there you was. You trying to find me, buddy? There you are. Just what I want. Oh, it was the dotted lines. I thought I saw a BT in front of me. Keep going. Okay. Let's get out of here. Remove. I sent a BT. But this is what I want. What I really, really want. Okay. Oh god, it's got music.
Your work is greatly appreciated.
Hey, there was snow inside for a second. Hey. Oh, my ammo's replenished. I'm happy. And it's green.
Sam, blood collection complete. Thank you for your generosity.
Hey, look, no. Okay, we're getting very close to the end, judging by that. In the meantime, let's do these. Okay, that's good. Yeah, but this place doesn't have a private locker. It's a little bit worrying. Uh-huh. And number 2. Don't do it. Don't do it. I told you don't do it. that said, let's activate this terminal. The Spiritualist, the chiral network connects people past and present. How are you, Sam? In good health and good spirits, I hope? I have to say, the chiral network is quite impressive. Ever since you hooked up the shelter, my life has become much more exciting. I've been able to procure all sorts of goods that I never seen before, and I've noticed quite a number of new structures going up nearby as well. I should also mention that I managed to unearth some old research data that may offer some insight into the more unusual phenomena that you might have experienced firsthand. I'm sure you have a vivid recollection of your many experiences in the scene, but it turns out that the person wandering around it that you may have identified as yourself may not be you at all, but someone else entirely. You see, whilst everyone's breach belongs to them and them alone, the scene is altogether a different beast. I've read about people who had near-death experiences that involved the scene. When they came across this someone else there, they found themselves somehow saved by them in the real world. They even received care package and of the like in some instances. Remarkable, you'd agree. You might even say the chiral network bridged the gap between this world and that in more ways than we realised. Now, I don't know who this someone else actually is. The fact that they are in the scene, though, would suggest that it's someone who's died, wouldn't it? Someone from the past. So in essence, the past is intervening to keep the present alive. It's comforting to think that it's not just BTs and other scary stuff that comes over from the other side. Maybe a chiral network can help us reconnect with more benevolent beings and positive forces from the past as well. If I may say, I don't suppose you could keep an eye out for this mysterious someone from the past next time you visit a scene, could you? You want me to go and get myself mullered? Okay, I saw about 2, 3. Neanderthals are not extinct. Both Neanderthals and Homo sapiens are believed to share a common ancestor in the form of Homo hybrigenesis, but there are clear differences between the two. Neanderthals are brutish and brawly and well equipped to hunt larger animals and survive in colder climates, whereas Homo sapiens were slender-limbed and only capable of hunting very smaller prey, but as a millennia passed, Homo sapiens learned to create tools and hunt in packs. The Neanderthals, who actually had larger brains than the Homo sapiens, also fashioned tools of their own, but these were crude in composition and developed over 200,000 years, perhaps because these simple-minded beings favoured small family units, so even if a breakthrough occurred, it was unlikely to be shared with others. This isolation, more than any other factor, seems to have led to their decline. Homo sapiens, meanwhile, conceived religion, which a large numbers of individuals could be bound together in service of a common cause. Strength in numbers also made their communities more resistant to famine and other calamities. In other words, Homo sapiens grew stronger through interpersonal connection by creating what came to be called society. If we persist in our divided state, we risk losing the hard-won unity and dooming ourselves to the Neanderthals' fate. We will dwindle and die apart and alone. But history holds another intriguing lesson. Homo sapiens did not disband Neanderthals. The two species intermingled on occasion. Our DNA remains vestiges of our ancestral cousins even now, you see. While species itself may disappear, its genetic legacy may endure. Hartman's theory of evolution. The evolution of life on Earth could be described as an evolution of consciousness. When the first vertebrates clambered out of the oceans onto the land, their consciousness expanded to the process of a new realm that laid before them. But their development did not end there. Their eyes moved from the flanks to the fronts, that they might comprehend the depth of the world. Mammals formed groups, increasing chances of survival. Eventually you come together in communities and then larger societies. In order to prevent and maintain these structures, humans developed a perception of time. And in order for societies to outlast the lifespan of an individual, we conceived of an afterlife and a future beyond ourselves. Alas, the Death Stranding threatens to undo all this progress. Consider the chiral network, which incorporates the beach, where time does not exist, nor consider timefall, which rapidly accelerates in the degeneration of that which comes into contact with. How can our sense of time, honed over millions of years, remain intact when we must cope with the irrational phenomena? Yet that is the tip of the proverbial iceberg. We are growing apart, retreating into isolation, gradually losing our place within society. I'd even go as far to say our conceptions of reality are under threat. How could they not be, even when our very eyes deny the invisible BTs that stands before us? The Stranding has warped our consciousness in every sense. If the evolution of life on Earth is indeed akin to the evolution of consciousness, then what is to happen now is undeniably a regression, is it not? There is one caveat, of course. Some of us are now far more aware of death than we ever were. That is what Dooms has given us. For me, therefore, Dooms is not merely a biological change. I prefer to think of it as a means by which we achieve a new form of consciousness. Furthermore, I hope and believe that this new awareness of the other side is humanity's trump card as we seek to defeat the Death Stranding. Umbilical cords in Devonian-era fossils. Here is an article from an old scientific journal. It was recently brought to my attention, and it predates the Death Stranding and concerns the discovery of a 380 million year old fossil, one from the Devonian era. To give a period its proper name, it is a fossil of a fish, and in its womb was a child connected to the mother by an umbilical cord, no less. The species Metaphysis aberranthri. It's a placoderm, an extinct class of armoured marine creature that used to live in the seas all the world over. Fortunately, most were wiped out during the Devonian era, right around the time of the second of the Big Five, in fact. As you may be aware, one key foci of my research is the link between creatures with umbilical cords and mass extinctions. Once this area is connected to the chiral network, it's my hope that we will be able to piece together more data that will help us learn more about the link between umbilical cords and the Death Stranding. Any more. Yes. Interview with a Evo biologist, personal shelter. I was born after the Death Stranding, so my conception of what the world once was is derived entirely from documents, photographs and video. We didn't used to have timefall, for one. Just regular rain. No chiral clouds, only a traditional masses of suspended moisture. And one certainly didn't have to worry about tar bubbling up from underground. In most locales. Humans could travel anywhere, even into space, and we were blissfully unaware of the beach existence. Suffice to say, there is no doubt that this is a period of sweeping change that will have lasting repercussions on all life on Earth. Given that dooms may simply be humanity's way of trying to adapt and survive, the beach exists within the consciousness of every individual. But these environmental changes, they will affect all life on a gigantic level, do they not? This is why I thought to investigate them. And the medium through which I chose to do this is tar, which has become so unambiguous. But if you're not interested in that, I'm sure. So you know there is a real possibility that we have already failed to adapt to the sixth extinction. That we are not another evolutionary dead end, soon to be left behind. If that is the case, then it would be reasoned that the ones affected were dooms, and therefore blessed with enhanced perception of the beach, are our successors who will strive and supplant us. I suppose that this could be a shame, but it doesn't trouble me all that much. My research will survive me as well, and the doom sufferers can pick up from where I left off. They will carry on the genetic lineage too, for that matter. No, what worries me is not even dooms will provide sufficient to endure the extinction. If that is the case, then humanity is doomed. It's certainly possible, we have to acknowledge. But more than that, one question above all, why? Why now? Why like this? That's what I want to know more than anything. Somehow I doubt dinosaurs and all the other species that came and went over considered that question. Worrying about the reason of this and that is uniquely human condition, I suppose. Yet this idle curiosity that may be the key to understanding and overcoming the stranding. Tar bubbles up from the beach. I heard the area was pretty inhospitable before I got there. You got a fair share of the mountains, obviously, but on top of that, we get these rumours about a secret terrorist base or something, so I figured I was in for a bad time. But then me and the team got there, yeah. It was way worse than what we thought. Felt like that we could get jumped any second, you know? I tell you what, though, I couldn't believe with my own eyes when I saw all the tar out the west. Wondered how the hell Amelie and her team made it through. But someone said it wasn't nearly as bad as when they made the trip. I was sent out to take a closer look, and man, it was something else, and I hadn't been that long either. Hard to imagine that all that bubbled up in near damn overnight, honestly. I feel like I was standing at the edge of the world. We don't know much about tar except that it wasn't around before the stranding. Same as timefall on Corellium. There's some speculation that it might be some byproduct of beach, and that if you could somehow replace the flow, you'd end up there. But that's all theoretical stuff. Right now, we've got a practical problem to deal with. One of the courier relays we built is under risk of going under any moment. We don't have the manpower to relocate it, but we should once the second expedition shows up. Whether we can wait as that long is another question, though. Maybe you could tell them to get their asses in gear if you get a chance. Any more? No. Epic. So yeah, that's about where I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to say thanks for watching. Until next time, have a good one.